I can't stand when barbers use this spray paint on the top of your head as a backup hairline or something. This buy one, get one free ass hairline is my biggest nightmare. Because yeah, it might look tough when you first get out the chair, but you gotta defend it with your life to keep it intact. One minor inconvenience, and that shit is melting all the way down your forehead, looking like you crying from your hairline. And I know these so-called spray-ons are supposed to be waterproof, but let's be real, is it really waterproof? Because it might remain straight, sure, but it doesn't change the fact that it will noticeably be more fake as soon as something touches it. So what exactly is waterproof? The straightness? What's the point of having a waterproof straight hairline if it's gonna look like this Carlos Boozer shit the more you get it wet? Matter of fact, it's gonna look like that the more anything touches it. Like you gotta wear a football helmet to preserve that shit. You gotta wear a helmet to sleep too, because if you don't, you go to sleep with a hairline and wake up with that bitch next to your nightstand. That's why I don't ask my barber for it. It's too much to deal with. Plus, I don't even trust these barbers because, you know, half of them be trying to pull a fast one with this spray. They mess up your hairline and try to redeem themselves by spraying half the can on you, looking like these niggas did a burnout on the top of your head. You get out the chair, all pleased just for you to wipe it away and see this. Well. What do we have here? Ass lineup. If my shit ever looks like this, I'm losing my mind. Cause I'm a man that demands perfection. You know, everything gotta be on point. If it doesn't, I'm gonna just lose my mind. I'm a psycho. I wish my shit would look like a line graph. I'm not going anywhere. I don't give a shit if I told you I was gonna see you. I just won't. The only thing you can count on me is going ghost. It's not worth wishing for me either, because I promise it won't come true, you know? Even if it is 11-11. And I'll vanish because I feel like it, not because of a cooked hairline. A messed up cut won't ever be the cause of my disappearance. I don't care what others think, because they gonna find a reason to hate, whether it was straight or not. They gonna always have something to say. You can go months without a cut, sideburns sticking out the side of your head, looking like a little werewolf from Twilight, on the brink of growing whiskers and shit. And your peers not gonna do nothing but clown you, and low-key disrespect you on the daily, trying to act like you a peasant or some shit. Because you ain't had no time to get a cut. You think nothing of it and assume that's just their way of telling you that you need to get the chop, only for you to get one, and they get awfully quiet. Matter of fact, they're making it seem like you don't even exist. They not clowning you, but you just can't understand why they ain't giving you no energy no more, you know, good or bad. You know, they say the praise gotta be as loud as the disrespect. I guess these niggas just ain't get the memo. And to be honest, that's most people in this world. They ain't gonna ever get the memo. You was just walking around with no cut, looking like you had mold growing out the side of your shit, and everybody had so much to say. You come around looking all majestic, it's like you can smell all the envy in the air. You smell the envy. They claim you wasn't gonna ever pull some hoes, yet they run into theirs to make sure they ain't lost them. Nowadays, niggas only text hoes to see if they talk to you. They don't care what she like or what she on, just dying to know what they think about another dude. The niggas gossip more than the bitches. And if she think you cool, he get to trip you. The so-called players find themselves telling a girl who she can and cannot talk to. Nigga, you a referee. All of a sudden they walking in front of her so she don't see you. Every time you speak, he look at her to make sure she don't laugh. So every time she get around you, she get tense as fuck. She holding every fiber in her body, trying not to laugh at your jokes. Because if she gets caught in the slightest bit, she'll get the shreds beat out of her like a piñata as soon as her and her nigga get alone time. And instead of spending her night charging her phone, watching Love Island or some shit, while doom adding shit she don't need to her Amazon cart, she gotta deal with her man blowing up her phone crying because he thinks she'd rather be with the nigga he low-key wanna be like. Man, it's like these niggas be getting lame about bitches, bro. You can diss them or become a threat in every single aspect of life and they won't give the slightest shit. The second it comes to a girl, they start losing their marbles. Niggas start mugging you out of nowhere and shit. You over here thinking you got a booger in your nose. Whole time they just got this vendetta over you. You become top op and you ain't did nothing besides look pretty. And you know, some people just can't help that. Especially me. They'll get all the other lame niggas in on it too. He got them worked up and now you dealing with them too. Like all these niggas lame, bro. Look. It's the lame nigga Avengers. They be deep with it. All this commotion because they afraid you want that girl. It ain't even about you. They just notice the change in her energy. Some girls just can't resist what they like. They see her eyes light up around you and they just start having a whole identity crisis, bro. Like ain't nobody want your girl. I mean, I like the way she lick her lips, but besides that, I'm cool off that shit. She ain't even my type. You know, I dress like Nelly before I let her take a ride with me. Speaking of that, you get a cut for once, all of a sudden these hoes that ain't noticed you any other day want to start speaking and shit. You would be going around not having a cut since the French Revolution, and during that whole phase, you not gonna have not one person in your inbox. Every time you walk in public, no one ever stopped to talk to you. No one even bothered to look at you. You might even try going out your way to put yourself in somebody's eye view, hitting the slow walk in front of them and shit like you recording a TikTok. And unfortunately, it doesn't work. They're just confused why there's a nigga in front of them hitting the slow walk like they're recording a TikTok. You so invisible that like if you had somewhere to be in 10 minutes, you might fuck around and get there 10 minutes earlier because there wouldn't be anybody to hold up your time. And it starts to get to your head because the lack of interaction is killing you. Shit, somebody's gotta love you at some point. You eventually get in a woe is me ass state. You don't even try to be noticed no more. You just stay in your room, slowly losing everything about who you are, sabotaging yourself with sad songs, a shit diet, and hella jerk offs. Hey little nephew, a few self nuts ain't gonna ease the pain, you know. It's only temporary. I know it gets lonely, but like, damn, you know, we can't go out like this. Always remember, loneliness is a feeling, not a state of being. You know, start doing things that you love for yourself, and like, eventually that void will go away. Do something for yourself, like get a haircut. Because think about it, if you look good, you gotta feel good. It makes sense. And the crazy thing about life is as soon as you start feeling it, everything you ever wanted starts to appear right in front of you. You get a cut, all of a sudden, everywhere you go, all the huhs want a piece of you. You so cold, niggas think you the reason winter came. You make rhinestones look like diamonds. It's the complete opposite of what you were experiencing before. Without the cut, everything about life was so hard. Now, everything's so easy. This is a dangerous situation to be in though, because if you're not careful, you will be lost in the sauce. Because nowadays, it's like people don't even be falling in love with people no more. They just be falling in love with the cut, bro. People don't love other people. They just love ideas. Just like the bitch you chased for years that ain't noticed not one thing about you. She probably always thought of you as a brother. You probably tried every plan in the book to get her in the palm of your hands, and you failed for years. You failed for years. Nowadays, she go brazy about you and you go brazy about her. You know, you can kick it with her for as long as you want, trying to reap the benefits, but you can't deny the fact that something still feels off because you've been after her since the beginning of the time. You know, you was Tom and you ain't never caught her because she was Jerry. You know, all them times you thought you finally had it just for her to pull away last minute for the 365th time. You finally got what you always wanted, but you start to think, what's the difference between then and now? Because, you know, you ain't ever changed. So what's the difference between then and now? And it finally dawns on you. It's because you're up. She ain't falling in love with you. She fell in love with the cut. You can't tell if you really fuck with her no more. You know she not shit. You know she out of pocket. But you in denial. So you start reminiscing on how much fun y'all been having. You think it had to be real love, right? My friend. And that's okay because you had a good run. But as long as this cut on the side of your head is not looking like how she likes it, the situation isn't salvageable. I mean, sure, you can spend $50 every 5 days to maintain this euphoria. But you know, you can't afford that. You're not me. You can't afford that. Plus, I wouldn't even do that. You know, I ain't spamming cuts for nobody. I get a cut, I better not have somebody spawn out of nowhere trying to love on me. You know, that's not what I need. I'm on my own dick. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to text nobody. I don't even want to look at nobody. I don't give a shit what your favorite color is, you know, red fish, blue fish, you know, green fish, you fish. I don't care. I just want to send you memes all day. Brain rot memes. Dank memes, bro. Dank memes, bro. Dank memes, bro. That's all I can give you. That's all I can give you. You want anything more than that, you'll be chasing pavements, and Lord knows they ain't a deal. And if you're not with that, that's okay, because not everybody speaks the same language. But I'm fluent in mine. I can't stand a barber that be taking too long to cut hair. And it may be out of my place to say this because it's obviously not my job. I understand a haircut is a barber's art form and you can't rush art. I understand that they see these things way differently than I ever will. But when I say I can't stand when a barber is taking too long, I'm not actually talking about when they're cutting their hair. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when they're not. It's when they start getting on the phone with some random jackass that has nothing to do with anything. There's 24 hours in a day. Most sleep 8 hours out of those 24. Like, bro, you have 16 hours to handle all personal problems and interest. Do you know that? You have 16 hours to handle all of that. They won't be worried about doing any of that shit until the moment you sit down in the chair. Mind you, only you, mind you. Nobody else, just you. It's only you. Because when you got there 20 minutes earlier, you sat down and watched him with your own 2 eyes cut 5 people all locked in, phone probably on do not disturb. Nigga couldn't be knocked off his game even if a nuclear explosion went off in front of the outside the shop. The second you sit down in the chair, he let off the gas pedal. All of a sudden he wanted to ease up. All of a sudden he getting the Clippers ready all lackadaisical and shit, putting on the wrong guards and shit. It's like the sense of urgency is just piss poor. You know, this dude is just 2 minutes after he finally started cutting your shit, he asking you what cut you want. Nigga, you already started the cut, you tell me. I was thinking you know what I want, considering the fact that I've been getting the same thing for years. You know, that's why I ain't say nothing. You know, that's why I ain't say nothing. You know, I ain't know he was doing haircut improv. You know, Broadway on phase. I didn't know that. You should have told me that. My fault. When you get in a cut, it's like you can feel when the barber starts to lock in. Like it's like you can sense when he enters the flow state. And also when he just cooking up BS. Like you don't feel no more tension. Like you can feel when they enter the flow state. As soon as they enter the flow state, something happens to fuck it up. Like they start getting heavily invested in a movie on the TV they've seen play on that same screen over 217 times, where some random customer from 40 minutes ago started yapping to the barber about not shit. Like out of nowhere, they just start venting about their life. And your barber don't do nothing about it. He just start acting like a therapist. You can't tell him to hurry up because you don't want to be rude. So you keep your composure. But if it wasn't for the consequences, you know you would get out the chair and drop kick both of them in they shit. You at the shop way longer than you need to be. And you get there 30 minutes earlier and end up, you know, leaving 50 minutes later. I love my time way too much for this shit. I'm not with the games because when I'm ready to go. And if I would have known it would have been like this, I would have just stayed at home. And that's no offense to the barber. He just talks to everybody at my expense. Like Jackass, save the interviews for the post game. You know, you supposed to be going to war right now. We don't care about your terrible NBA takes. You know, we don't care if you think Queen Latifah was bad in her prime. We don't care if you don't mind chopping trees. Nigga, you're 5'4". You gonna need an elevator to hit that shit. Nobody's showing up to your upcoming party, so stop trying to promote it. Just cut my hair so I can go home, so I can just go on my way. Just send me on my way.